Vitamins, minerals, supplements, what are they? Why do we need to take them and when should we take them? This is your complete guide to everything supplements. Let's go. Hi, I'm Jennifer West and today I am at MYOBAND HQ going over the complete guide to supplements. We've got Chi here today with us and she's going to be answering all my questions regarding supplements, vitamins, minerals, what we need them for, why, etc, etc. Chi?
Thanks, Jen. Yes, so I'm the founder and innovations director for MYOBAND, and I'll do my best to answer as many questions that Jen throws at me today.
She's like a great big brain. He basically knows everything. So I'm really going to put him under pressure today.
I wouldn't really say that.
But he is.
I mean, I still need to read.
If you've got any questions, make sure you comment below and ask them as you're watching the video, as you think of them, and we'll come back to you. What are vitamins and minerals? What are they?
Good question. Vitamins and minerals are what we would call micronutrients.
Okay.
And they're very important to our functioning of our whole human body. Okay. And like our last video, when we spoke about protein, a lot of the micronutrients are actually essential. So, and when I say essential is because we actually, as you know...
Yeah, don't produce them ourselves.
Yeah, there's only 2 that we can produce ourselves. Okay. But then the rest we do really need to be taking it from our food or different sources. So
if we don't take vitamins and minerals, if we don't get it in our diet and we don't get it in supplementation, what happens to our body?
Honestly, that is brilliant. That's a brilliant question, because usually if you become deficient in a micronutrient, within 4 weeks, you usually can tell, like, things start to, a good word would be manifest, that you're deficient in a certain...
That sounds a bit scary.
And to be honest, it's just the fact that we need these micronutrients, and a bit like, I guess, how can I put it? If we don't take it, when we say manifest, you start deteriorating in that facet.
Oh my God, it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds really scary.
Yeah, so for example, a great example, a vitamin D.
Yeah.
So if you don't go in the sun and you don't take it, what tends to happen is your bones do, over time, become brittle and possible.
So vitamin D affects bones?
It does, yes, because it's very connected with the mineral calcium.
Okay, yeah.
And then obviously, as your bones can become more brittle, then it leads then to in the clinical terms, with osteoporosis, which you've probably heard of.
Yeah, I've heard of that, yeah.
Which is...
brittle bones.
It's not great. Yeah. So, and that's just from...
A deficiency in one...
And vitamin D. Yeah. So it's just...
They're very important.
They're so essential.
Yeah.
And again, when we come back to talking about the diet, the best way to get these are from a balanced diet, colourful foods, and different types of foods.
So vitamins, you said there was 2 that we have in our body already?
Yeah, so two that can be produced.
We can produce by the body, and the rest we get via food.
Correct.
So is vitamin D one of the ones that we produce by the body? Because we get...
Yes.
So the sun encourages vitamin D production in our body?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's basically like, for example, it's a certain UV light that hits your skin, and on the epidermis level, which is just below the skin. Yeah. That's where you can produce the vitamin D. Yeah. And your body's very good at that. And that's why we are supposed to go into the sunlight and get some sun. Getting some sun, yes.
And what's the other vitamin that we can produce ourselves?
It's actually in the gut, which is vitamin K. Oh. So it's actually bacteria.
I've really not even heard of vitamin K. Yeah. You can't just make stuff up, Jay.
No. It's basically it's produced with bacteria in the gut.
Okay.
And that's how you get the vitamin K.
Is that related to our breaking down food and stuff like that? Is that related to that, like digestion and stuff?
It's in the digestion tract. So from there you'll be able to produce the vitamin K and then absorb it.
And then how many vitamins are there in total?
Good question. I had to count then myself.
Yeah,
it's 13 vitamins.
Okay. Yes. Right then. Okay.
So, but I think the main thing is with vitamins and minerals, they're very 2 different things. Whereas vitamins, an organic compound, which I'll just quickly touch on, and minerals are inorganic compounds. So the difference is just the chemical structures of the actual compound that you're talking about. Vitamins are a bit more complex compounds, and minerals are less complex. So when we say one's organic, one's inorganic, it's just the chemical structure.
Okay.
So whereas minerals, when we say they're simple, it's not because they're simple, but rather they're usually one element.
Okay.
So it's a bit like, you know, the periodic table.
Yeah.
It's like certain metals, that's what they are
Yeah.
in pure form.
Whereas the vitamins made up of multiple different things.
Yeah, it's different structures for vitamins, and
this is the bit where I will never really understand it unless I do like some science qualification.
Yeah.
But that makes sense to me. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's one's a bit more complex and one's your kind of simplistic form.
Yeah.
Like as pure, on a way, not simplistic, I'll use pure form.
Pure form,
Yeah.
okay. So in terms of multivitamins, vitamin C, I take the MYOBAND multivitamin, and I also take a vitamin C.
Yeah.
Do I need to have it? Do I need to take multiple tablets? Can I get it all from one tablet? Like, is it better to take individual tablets for each vitamin? Vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D.
Well, it all depends on. I think it should be somewhere there.
I've got it on my side.
A few moments later.
Is it on there?
There. Right in front of my face.
Yeah. So it's basically. It's a good question in terms of, do you need to take multiple vitamin tablets?
Or
and
just
usually
one?
when they say multivitamins, it's usually a good multivitamin will include all the vitamins across the board and the minerals.
So it should include every single one.
Yeah, so it should include every single one, and every single one plays a very important part in not just one function of the body, but all over your body.
Yeah.
And to the point where it's a very complicated system. So in terms of multivits, if you take the multivit, it should be more than enough, because in a way we say supplements are supplements for a reason. So what we try and do is try and get your vitamins and minerals from your balanced diet, your daily diet, because that's where your primary source would come from.
Yeah.
So if you're not taking any fruit or veg or any other type of food source that would give you your vitamins and minerals, then you would take a multivitamin, but then I would then also then go to see if you can kind of have some form of testing to see where you're deficient in another form of mineral or vitamin. But usually if you take the multivitamin, it's a good insurance to kind of keep you covered for everything else. So really, you shouldn't be taking vitamin C.
If you're taking a multivitamin, because it should. And how many milligrams of vitamin C would we need a day? Just because
I think, well, it's a very good question, because
this is 80.
We have the government guidelines, and WHO and NHS. They all have the guidelines, and which we'll show on screen in a minute, which we call the reference nutrient intake, and that is going back to the previous video when we were talking about the protein. Remember the bell curve, and then in a population, and then you try and get the average of the bell curve, and then that's where you would get the best amount that someone would require. And that's why they come up with something called the RNI, or the RDAs. So now that we've spoken about the multivitamins and minerals, which we could drill down to each individual vitamin, but this video would be super long. What we want to kind of expand on is supplements, and people know supplements that's why they're called supplements, to supplement
the supplemental food. They shouldn't be your diet, they should enhance your diet.
Enhance the diet. So for example, like you take your multivitamins and minerals as an insurance to kind of make sure, because wouldn't you want that?
I know. I can be quite regular with the type of food I eat. So while I have the same lunch almost sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah. And it's always the same vegetables. So if I'm missing out on other ones, or like if you don't like other vegetables, you can be missing out on vital, you know, vitamins and minerals. So
yeah, for example, if you're looking at the lighter vegetables, the lighter coloured vegetables, they're not going to give you as much dense pack. For example, a dense packed green like kale, or which gives you really high iron levels. Yeah. So for example, you know, for women it's slightly higher, it's at 18 milligrams. Yeah. But usually for men, in general consensus is about 14 milligrams. Okay. And that's what we've got in the multivitamins there. Oh. So it's almost like we give that in that supplement tablet. It gives you that base rate to kind of
It's nice. It's like insurance. It's like nice to know that you can go about your life, and you might not have all the time in the world to cook meals and make and look at the end of the day and be like, right, I've got this vitamins, I get enough of this one in. Like, who's got the time to even think that?
That's true, yeah.
And like, be Googling every single vegetable all the time that's going on. Did we get this in? Did we get this in?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know who's got time for that. And also, I don't really particularly want to do that. I'd rather just be like, I'll eat as well-rounded diet as I can, but then I'll make sure I have this every day.
Insurance, yes. It's funny because why would you buy a house but not buy insurance?
Yeah,
because everyone does that.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, our bodies are worth 1,000, a million times of a house price. And why would you not just have some vitamin and mineral tablets?
I know, something so simple like that.
Exactly. So in terms of vitamin minerals, we do have the multivitamins and minerals in the lab series. But then when we're talking about supplementation, it then really kind of open up to all the different products.
All these ones that are here.
Yeah, so for example, you've got like omega-3s, you've got ZMA, so what we'll
CLA,
do, milk thistle, collagen and marine.
Yeah. So all these are things that you would need to take in addition to this.
Yeah,
depending on your circumstances.
Depends on your circumstances, because this is why it's, for example, if you start performing in terms of physical activity, so you're doing more physical activity, a lot of people tend to go for a product called creatine.
Yeah.
So, and from a scientific point, we know that creatine is super important because it's actually directly involved in energy production. So, I mean, if you remember, like from, like, say, ADP to ATP, adenotriphosphate.
I remember learning all this stuff.
Adenosine triphosphate and the diphosphate.
Yeah.
So it's very important for energy production, and that's when, if someone's going to increase the physical activity, someone may choose to take creatine to then aid them to have a better energy production system within the body. But
so it's not for everybody, but certain people.
Yeah, so it's like with vitamins, minerals, and supplementation. Not so much with the vitamins and minerals, but more supplementation. It's really kind of choosing what you would need.
Okay, so based on me working out 6 times a week, mainly weights, bit of cardio, I do yoga, I work mostly all day on my laptop.
So you got a lot of physical, a lot of mental.
Yeah.
So
what do I need? What have everything?
Yeah, so it's a quite difficult question, because where I would usually start, it's always a good point to kind of maybe have a test on your deficiencies, and then from there you'll know then what your body's kind of requires. Or sometimes as simple as your body is clever enough to tell you that you need a particular vitamin or mineral.
Okay.
So, for example, your nails, if they're brittle.
I mean, it's been locked down, hasn't it? So many are not great. They're actually split. My nails split all the time. Can you see? They don't grow out. They split.
Yeah. So
when they get to the end, look at that.
I think that's the wrong finger, Jen.
Okay, they're both splits. I'll do this.
Yeah. Okay. So
can you see them split?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So with nails, it's a form of protein. You have heard of keratin?
Yes.
So
I put keratin treatment on my hair to make it stronger.
Yeah, so it's like with hair, skin, nails. So, but then also that plays into the important part of them is certain supplementation. So whether it's like zinc or selenium, it's things like this, and they all really play a part. But it all depends on what your body's telling you, or whether you physically go out and get a test.
What are these nails telling me that I need to go to the salon?
No, it's obviously like there could be a multitude of different, but do you take kind of multivitamins already?
Yes, just these literally.
Okay, so then if you're taking that and you're still getting
I've had this all my life.
Yeah.
Always.
So what would be quite nice then if you got a test to actually see, because with it being could be multiple things that would affect that. It's always nice to see from a test.
Okay.
What you're deficient in.
I'm gonna do that. I want to know. I want my nails to look cute.
And we do have something exciting, but
can't talk about it right now. You always do that to me.
We'll
something so exciting coming. Can't tell you. It's like when people write on Instagram, or on Facebook, and they like a status, and they're like, oh, some people are just so annoying, and then someone will put like, oh my god, I hope you're okay. Yes, I'll DM you, babe. So just tell everybody. Just tell us. Stop dangling the carrot. Christ alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, what people, if there's if anyone ever asked me like, what should I take from a supplement?
It's not obviously not a straightforward answer.
It's not straightforward, but there are two things that I always say do take. Multivitamin.
Yeah.
And if I can find it, you've probably got it, omega-3 fish oils.
So these are two products that everybody can do with having, regardless of their situation, whatever their routine is, how much they're training, whatever you need to train or not at all. These two everybody could do with having.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't actually take that.
Yeah. Do you take omega-3s?
No, I know I haven't.
Well,
I'm going to start now.
Do you have fishy oils twice a week?
No, because you know why I don't eat fish, and also it's just the fact that it's called fishy oils puts me off it.
There you go then. So the fact that you don't, it's a great example, because the fact that you don't take it.
Because it says fishy. And it puts me off.
Well, I think, that's in the soft gel form, so that you won't even taste it, you won't smell it.
I don't want to taste the fish.
Yeah, you don't taste anything.
Okay.
It's basically like taking a tablet.
Yeah.
But it's not a tablet, it's a soft gel.
It's actually got real fish oil in it from a
It's
fish.
real fish oil.
Fish in the sea.
Yes, and it's inside.
Oh, gross.
But you don't. There's no smell to it, and it's really easy
no
to
fish
swallow.
were harmed in the making of fish oil tablets.
No. so in a way, those are the two that I would actually say that you
So I need
take.
to start having omega-3, yeah.
But and creatine, for example, another creatine monohydrate that we've got somewhere here, is also good, because if you're going to increase your physical activity and you feel a bit lethargic, then it is a good. This is where you introduce creatine.
Okay.
I mean, you can get creatine from food sources,
and
so
protein.
from red meats and and from protein. So the Oblivion's got the creatine in there already, but it's just one of those things where you know when to take them.
Yeah. Like if you feel tired, right, I have creatine.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll have creatine to see if it picks you up on the energy levels, and it's all about just kind of
being aware.
Yeah, testing it out on yourself, and it's always good to take one at a time so you can actually measure it to see. Because if you're taking multiple products,
you don't know what's actually benefiting you.
Yes, exactly.
So introduce one at a time, and then like maybe a couple of weeks, and then you introduce another one.
Yeah. Now, to be honest, there is a product if it's here. Oh, the Fibre Plus, that's there. Now this you actually, if you do take, naturally I would say eat your greens and vegetables and fruits.
I do eat a lot, but again, there's a lot of the same.
Yeah, but with these, if you actually take them, for example, it's a great alternative to get your fibre in, and you actually quickly do notice the effects quite quickly, which I'm not going to explain to the camera, but but that is one that you would notice straight away because it passes through your body, which is very important because you know the importance of fibre.
Yeah.
So in terms of but you would not naturally take that if you already have quite a natural. Number one, you've got a good diet in your dietary fibre coming into your body. And so really you don't need to take
For example, if you've got very nice regular toilet habits, you're probably deficient in any type of fibre.
Exactly.
My sister's vegetarian as well. She eats a lot of vegetables. And I think, would you say that vegetarians probably, because they can't eat meat because they're eating more vegetables, they're probably getting
correct.
A
so they're getting a lot more
and
fibre.
Vegans,
So they get a lot more fibre.
I eat the same old stuff every single day. I need to vary my vegetables.
Yeah. I mean, you just need to look into. Yeah, that's true. I mean, well, it depends. It's and this is when for example, again, you maybe want to top up on some Fibre Plus.
Yeah.
If you haven't had any fruit or veg that day. So it's really kind of going to take what you want to take.
So, in terms of where you buy your supplements from, I'm assuming some are better quality than others.
Yeah.
And is that the process of how they're made, how they're constructed, where they get the product from? What would make this a better quality, the omega-3? What would make that better than someone else that does it? Like, what's so good about it?
Yeah. So basically, we touched on it last time when we spoke in terms of the quality of the ingredients. So there's two points of it. So the quality of the ingredient, where you're getting the ingredient, and then the quality of the manufacturing. Rather like cooking.
Yeah.
If you'll always have a fantastic meal if you go and get fresh, especially if you can grow it on your own patch or something, fresh out from the soil.
Yeah. Your
fruit, your veg, nothing's going to beat that type of ingredient. And in a way, for supplements, you can do tests. So, in the omegas, so you're talking then. So, for example, what you want to do is kind of have omega-3s, which are newer. So, if you can see that the expiration date is a bit further out, it's good. It's a good thing. It's because naturally, the products do degrade over time.
So you need a bunch of vitamin acids.
Exactly. So that's why you've always got the best before end.
Yeah.
So that is a good indicator. To say, right, you know, these are fresh.
Yeah.
So you want fresh. So the soft oil, the soft gels, you know, have been manufactured recently.
Yeah.
And especially if you've got the manufacturing standards that go with it.
Yeah.
Then you know you've got a good product. All our products are manufactured GMP, which is good manufacturing practice.
Yeah.
Which is a really good standard that you want.
So that's like some kind of regulation over the product to make sure that they're done in the right way.
So this is the processes, everything can be controlled, everything's
that's good.
smooth, and there's no foreign.
Yeah, like it is what it's saying it is.
There, yes.
Yeah. And that the amount it says is in there is actually in there and we're not being lied to. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's been TV shows on this actually where they focused on the omega-3. I think it was on BBC.
Yeah.
Where they tested a bunch of omega-3 fish oil products from different brands.
And was it like a massive variation in the quality?
Yes.
Oh, that's really because I would, you know, what probably most people do is I'd go onto Google and find the cheapest one and buy that one.
Yeah.
Or go to the supermarket and buy the cheapest one. But how do you know you're buying the best?
Exactly. So unfortunately, the unfortunate thing about supplements is it's not a very regulated marketplace, and what you want to do is you want to buy from a reputable company.
Yeah.
Now, with us being in the UK, it's a pretty good thing in terms of, but I still have heard some stories within the UK. So using like omega-3 as an example, where it could be past its best before end and still be sold.
Oh my gosh.
And it's quite scary.
Because it's going into your body.
Yeah. So I think a good thing would be I think we would want to do that as well further down the line. So for example, in the omega-3, there's two important ingredients, EPA and DHA, and these are fatty acids. And over time they do degrade and become less, and that's the ones that you want to be higher.
So there's literally no point having it if it's not like...
Yes. So what would be quite nice is actually, for example, for us to do a test on the DHA and the EPA and the levels, and actually then be able to show the customers how fresh and what we can expect. We can do that.
I test on this one and then on some random ones from other places.
Yeah, so that's what you want to do. And so, for example, sometimes, and I think supplement companies don't do this enough to just basically randomly test the product.
So how many supplements are we supposed to take per day? What's safe? What's recommended? And what happens if we don't do that? What happens if we're under? What happens if we're over?
I mean, we touched on it briefly before when we was talking in terms of when we pulled up on the screen the RNIs. So really it depends on which type of supplements you're talking about and which supplements you choose to take, in terms of whether your body's telling you or you've actually physically done a test and you're deficient in XYZ. So for example, multivitamins, you would only take one a day. Okay. And it says take one a day.
And if I took two, I would die.
No, you wouldn't die, but it's just one of those products that if you take two, it's just some of the nutrients would be wasted.
So it's not like nothing's going to happen to you necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's a waste of... Would your body just excrete it?
Yeah, so if it doesn't need it, it'll just either be stored or it'll be passed out. Now... So, for example, we mentioned like vitamin A. So it is toxic if you take too many. So if you take, obviously, if you're going to take 90 tablets in one go, then there is going to be some toxicity within the body. So it's just basically following the directions of the product, and depending on which product it is. So, example here, we've got a thermo, which increases your metabolism, and it's a kind of strange one, this one, because what we say on the label is for someone to just try one capsule first, just to see how well the body takes to that product, and if it's fine or if they feel like they need more, then they go up to 2 capsules. Then we say, but for example, like we always say, then we stay at maximum 4 capsules because we don't really want to be overdoing over 4 capsules purely because of like the caffeine content. So really, it depends on which one you go for. Once you've kind of decided what you want to take in terms of a supplement, you then would take particular ones at particular times. So for me, I take my omega and vitamin in the morning, with breakfast.
Can you have it, if you have it without breakfast, does that have a different effect, or is it just less absorbed, not absorbed?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes down quicker.
Okay.
So if it's going down quicker, it goes back to the analogy of the bullet train and, there's someone pedaling across. So really what you want to do is kind of have your vitamin with your breakfast, or if you do, for example, if you miss it, you have it with lunch. It just kind of gives you that extra.
And would you have it, really you want to try and have it at the same time every day? So it's like 24 hours spaced apart?
Yeah, because the main thing is getting a habitual change. And that's what we want. It's the same about another guide we'll go into about weight loss. It's more of a habitual change. So if you can get like a habit of taking your vitamins in the morning, along with your omega, then that's a good start. Yeah. But like, for example, here, I think this one here, ZMA, you would take that just before sleeping.
And that's for sleep?
That's for sleep, yeah. So it's better sleep cycles.
Okay.
So it can help. So, and if you're probably asking what ZMA is, it's
Zimmer,
yeah.
Zinc, magnesium, vitamin A?
B6, vitamin B6. So you got
catfished me.
Yeah, so it's you would take this at night. So and then
there's no point to take it in the morning unless you work on night shifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you got like the thermos.
Yeah.
No for nighttime.
All right. Okay, nighttime.
Again, unless you're working night shifts. if we're throwing lifestyle in there. Okay. So with thermos, you would usually take them in the beginning of your day cycle rather than later. That may be a better way to say it.
Beginning of your day cycle.
Day cycle.
Okay. Did that one. Fibre Plus. Is it every 24 hours? Same time each day?
I mean, with Fibre Plus, because it's not a stimulant, it's fine. But again, it's always best to take certain supplement, well, most of them actually, when you're having foods.
Alright. Yeah. So it's better. And a CLA?
CLA, that is an interesting one actually. You take that 30 minutes usually, or 30 to an hour before your meal.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's CLA is actually conjugated linoleic acid.
You're saying words I don't know now.
So even I have to say it sometimes.
Linoleic acid.
Linoleic acid.
Yeah, I know what that is.
So it's made from a safflower.
Yeah.
And from there, there still needs to be a lot more studies on it. But it is there have been studies out there that it's been able to aid your weight loss.
Oh, okay.
So, but it is as I said, it's a good product to have out there because it's not a stimulant. It's not any kind of.
So you're not getting any adverse reaction from taking it?
Exactly.
And then milk thistle, what's that? When's that for?
You can usually take that before.
What are you going to say?
When I said before drinking, I was thinking, why is that first on my mind? But
does that help with hangovers?
No, it's there because
it increases the feeling of alcohol.
It was actually with like most supplements, they're discovered by a certain person who's come across. Why is this community, for example, why do they have better detoxifying? You could say, like from like, let's just say they can drink a lot more.
Okay, right.
That's a good one. That's a good way.
We all know that.
So then they go and find out what they're eating, and then then they have like a particular like plant or.
Well, I whatever show I'm on, I'm always nicknamed One Drink Jen because I can only have one drink and then like really just had enough. Yeah. Like I just can't handle drink at all. Yeah. Well. I don't go crazy. I think I just get tired and just like I'm over it so quickly. Yeah. Well, so maybe I should start taking.
Well, that's more for kind of like your liver detox. Not that you drink much of it anyway. No. To warrant milk thistle. No. But yeah, so it is a good question. So I think the best thing to do is to kind of just follow the label.
Follow the label. Follow the label. There we go. You've got it. Follow the bloody label. See, that's simple. Okay, so now it's time to bust some myths. Because I mean I've come up with a few things myself anyway. Like things that you just think you've got to do when you haven't got to do them, and so I'm going to ask questions and you're going to answer them for me, hopefully. Okay.
I'll try.
Right, this one I feel like I know the answer already. Myth 1: everyone should take supplements.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, I feel like now we've talked about these ones particularly a lot. I feel like everyone does need to take supplements.
Yeah. And
maybe before I would have thought no.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have thought before, but now I know more about it. I feel like yes.
And then it comes back to the question of, are you eating a varied and balanced diet? Because if you do, then technically you would get all your vitamins and minerals.
But people probably can't ensure that on a daily basis, can they?
And I think it's the WHO or the NHS, they've actually increased it. It should actually be 10 a day. So you should actually have 10 portions of your fruits and veg.
I've heard that.
So really, the 5 is the minimum size.
And if every 5 portions, you're not getting in every single veg. So you're missing out on vital vitamins and minerals from other veggies. So you have a carrot, parsnip, potato, spinach and peas. Okay, what about, I don't know, passion fruit? What about, bananas, apples, pears? What about kale? What about, celery? You're missing out on other things.
So I think in a way, it is a bit of a strange question.
Is that really a definite answer?
No, the answer for me is multivitamins and omega. So it would be, yes, everyone should be taking the supplements because especially the world that we're living in now.
Yeah.
We certainly, because it's not, if you follow to take 1 tablet a day, it's to act as insurance, and there's no harm in in multivitamins, and they're very affordable pricing these days. So why would you not?
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, so that would be my question back to the person.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, taking it back to you guys. Get it hot on the collar. Okay. Myth 2. You can combine all supplements together.
No.
I know all these answers now because he talked about it.
Yeah. Well, we explained
Well,
it.
why would you combine ZMAs to help you go to sleep with some thermo? I'm ready for my workout, but I'm also going to go to sleep at the same time.
Yeah. So exactly. So you can see, and not only just like the actual products itself, it's like ingredients. Some ingredients cancel some of the other ingredients out.
Oh, okay.
So this is why you
read the labels.
You need to read the labels, but at the same time, just be aware that if you're taking a supplement, and this one I said, like, if you're going to take a supplement, take 1 at a time. Especially if you want to see the effects and what you feel.
So don't start loads of new in one go.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So really, no, don't combine them all together. It's silly. Yeah.
There's no point. Yeah. Okay. Myth 3. Because you can purchase supplements over the counter or from multiple health and wellbeing companies, you don't have to talk to your doctor, health professional about them. So basically, they're saying that because we can just purchase them freely and we don't have to get them, prescribed to us from a doctor, does that mean we don't really need to have any responsibility in terms of knowing what we're having? Because surely it's safe if you just buy them off the counter. Yeah,
so that's a very good question, because usually we live the real life, and sometimes getting to a doctor is quite for some people quite arduous.
Google.
Yeah.
Why have I got a lump on my back?
Yeah.
Go.
And this is yeah, I know, and it's things like this. But like at the same time, would you feel like you would be bothering your doctor if you're saying, right, okay, I don't know if I should take multivitamins, but I will go and see the doctor.
They're gonna just think that you're just like, oh my god, like leave me to the important people that actually need my help.
Yeah. So it's a very good question in the way that I think it's more for your less known supplements. So example, like great examples are like these thermogenics. People the stories where people have overtaken it, and it's not a good thing. And
also if someone's like pregnant or they've got underlying health condition like heart disease, something, they can't just willy-nilly take random supplements.
Well, that was what I was going to go on to next. It's also medical conditions, and also, like you said, pregnancy, but then there may be underlying. So things like this, where thermogenics are concerned, then you may want to kind of go to your GP or health professional first. But usually things like your omega and your vitamins, I would say you wouldn't have to.
Yeah, I think it's because, like the question says, the myth says, because they're just available on the shelves, you can just go and buy them at supermarkets when you're getting your vegetables and whatever. You would just assume then that they're absolutely fine just to take them and not even worry, because they're not,
Yeah, so in terms of the myth busting, it's incorrect. It doesn't mean that you... Because the question,
you just want to be tread carefully and look at your own individual circumstances.
Yeah, and but whatever you take, you want to kind of know whether what a health professional would say or your GP, especially if you've got medical or pregnancy or any other medical concern.
That sounds straightforward.
So yes, you should.
So that is the end of this video discussing everything supplementation, vitamins and minerals. I hope it was answering some questions for you. If you do have any more questions, make sure you comment below because Chi is going to be online answering those questions for you. Also, if you do comment below, you can win a limited edition YouTube shaker and a tub of Bolivian. So make sure you comment below anything, just comment whatever you want. If you've got a question, put that down there. Hit subscribe too to be in for the chance of winning this bundle.
Yep, so thanks Jen. And yeah, so leave the comments because I will be hanging around when the video goes live, and hopefully start some kind of educational discussion if you've got any opinions, and we're always welcome here at MYOBAND.
Oh yes, and we've got a link as well. If you click the link below, that will take you to a guide all about vitamins, minerals and supplements so you can read in more detail.
Yep, that's
awesome.
great. So thank you very much. Thank you.
See you again.